hashbor, but it applies to an individual. And it works like this. If the universe has got purpose, if the Rebbeinu Shalom made the universe for a purpose, and he put me into this universe, then I must also have a purpose within it. I must have a certain role to play, a certain tafkid, a certain responsibility about my role in this universe. And because we're talking about the hashbos that the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to send the world for next year, we can now understand why Rosh Hashanah is on the first day of the new year. Because we're talking about the future. We're talking about what the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to send us in terms of tools, kit and equipment in order to carry out our purpose and our responsibilities for the coming year. In the Machzor, we say as well, Zeh hayom tchilas ma'asecha. This day is tchilas ma'asecha, the beginning of your works. Zikaron Yom Rishon. It is a zikaron, talking about Rosh Hashanah, for Yom Rishon. It is a commemoration of the first day. Now, what we're trying to explain is that Rosh Hashanah is the time when the world is judged as to what it's going to get, both in general and in particular as individuals. Rabbi Dessler makes a remark here. I don't want to dwell too long on it. I'll come back to it this time. And he makes a remark about if what we're saying, which is that everything was put into the universe at Sheshes Yemei Bereshis, and on each Rosh Hashanah, the process is undergone again for the coming year. It was Sheshes Yemei Bereshis for the whole world, for the 6,000 years. For Rosh Hashanah, the same process repeats itself for the coming year. So it's a mini Maaseh Bereshis. So Rabbi Dessler asks the question, well, if it's a mini Maaseh Bereshis, why does it say Zikaron L'Yom Rishon? It should say K'Yom Rishon. It's a repeat process. In the Sheshes Yemei Bereshis, it was done in general terms. And on Rosh Hashanah, it's done in more detailed terms for the coming year. So why is it Zikaron, the Maaseh Bereshis? So he explains that this plan that we have described in the Sheshes Yemei Bereshis unfolded as it was planned, exactly as it was planned, during the first 26 generations. You know the 26 Kilo Olam Chastos that we say on Shabbos morning and Yom Tov morning, Hallel HaGadol? These represent the 26 generations before Matan Torah. During that period, during the 26 generations, the Rebbeinu Shalom just carried out what was in the plan. And there was no deviation. However, people behaved when they became too corrupt, he wiped them away, like in Daya Mabel, Daya Flogar. But otherwise, the world just went on as it was. It was called Chesed Vitur. Hashem gave the Chesed to the world and didn't expect anything in exchange. So there was no interaction between humanity and the Rebbeinu Shalom. Hashem wasn't giving them their hashboas or their benefits in accordance with their actions. Just when they came too corrupt, he took them away. But otherwise, there was the world, and it unfolded and unraveled the way it was meant to at Sheshes Yemei Bereshis. However, at Matan Torah, there was this gigantic change. From now on, the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to be done the world. He's going to judge the world and give the world what it needs in accordance with man's behavior. Now all of a sudden we're interacting. We're after the 26 generations. Now it's totally different. The Rebbeinu Shalom and mankind are going to interact such that every year, Rosh Hashanah, we are going to be given what mankind deserves. And by the way, in brackets here, the Rosh Hashanah is not particularly just and exclusively, I should say, a Jewish festival. It's not just for us. Rosh Hashanah is a universal festival. The whole world is judged. Only we are the only ones that take it seriously. But the whole world is judged. And what you and I achieve on Rosh Hashanah will have an influence on the whole of the world. It is a worldwide, it's a pan-world Yom Tov and Day of Judgment. The whole world is affected by what we achieve on Rosh Hashanah. So, as Rabbi Dessler says, now we understand why it's Zikaron. From the time of Matan Torah onwards, it's not exactly as it was at Matan Torah, as at Sheshes Yemei Bereshis, where it was plumbed in and that's how the world works. Now, adjustments are being made in accordance with the way we behave. So there's lots of interaction, and so it's very, very different. So, let's now explain what is going on. So in other words, what I meant to say was, in the change that occurred at Matan Torah, we're now talking about Schar V'Oinish, of course. Yeah, Rebbeinu Shalom works with Schar V'Oinish, and we give him Schar or Oinish, depending on how we are and how we were. So, Rosh Hashanah is about what we are going to get in the coming year. As we say, Hayom Haras Olam. Today is the birthday of the world. It's Miloshin Heroyon. You know, we don't usually celebrate birthdays in our Yiddishkeit. Birthdays are for people like Paro, but in fact there are birthdays that are important, and the birthday of the world, Rosh Hashanah, which commemorates the day on which Adam Rishon was created, on the Friday, and it was Rosh Hashanah. So in other words, we commemorate the birth of Adam Rishon, the birth, as far as we're concerned, of the world. I'd like to give you a dogma, trying to put together all that we've said, perhaps slightly disparately, in a moshel about a business. Person's running a business. And unfortunately, business, in these times, we can understand this very well, these economic straits that we're in at the moment, the business isn't running too well. So what does he do? He goes to the bank manager. Well, this is a moshel that I've written down a couple of years ago. Maybe it doesn't apply now at all. You go to the bank manager, he throws you out. But yeah, you go to a bank manager and you say, bank manager, I desperately need £100,000. Yeah, if you give me £100,000, I can get my business going. I can really make it work. So what does the bank manager do? He says, bring me the accounts of last year. You open the accounts. Well, there are debts here and debts there, and the business isn't going. There are all sorts of, reasons that you're not a very good investment. Why should I invest in you? Look at the state of your books. That's the over. Your over doesn't look very good. So what do you say to the bank manager? Bank manager, but you don't understand. I've made all sorts of changes. I've appointed a new manager. I've moved offices and decorated very nicely. I've ordered new equipment for the manufacture. I've got all sorts of plans and sales, etc. I've made lots and lots of changes. You've made changes. Then we can look at you differently. That's a different proposition. The old business, the Scanish. Yeah? The old business, I'm not investing in it. You've got all sorts of new changes and all sorts of new ideas, and they look good and solid. That's a different proposition. You are somebody worth investing in because you've understood what there is to be done. You're an investor worth investing in. Okay, so the bank manager agrees to lend you. And what about the past? What about the past? You've still got these debts. Okay, the debts we will deal with next week. Yeah, we'll deal with next week. We'll see how you cover the debts. But meantime, I will invest in you. That's Rosh Hashanah. It's the decision of the Rebbeinu Shalom to invest in us. And the way we present ourselves is all important. Because if we present ourselves as a person, we're making changes, we're doing things, we have a different outlook than Rosh Hashanah, right, you're a good investment.